Your brain is a wonderful thing. It allows you to think, feel, and experience the world around you. But sometimes it can play tricks on you, especially when it comes to understanding scientific concepts. Here are 7 scientific paradoxes that will challenge your brain. Do you think you can figure out how they're possible? We have included the answers in this video so you can check them as you go along. 1. The double slit experiment. This one is a classic. Light is sent through 2 slits in a barrier and then projected onto a screen behind the barrier. What you get is an interference pattern made up of alternating light and dark bands. So far, so good. But here's the kicker. If you try to observe the light as it passes through the slits to figure out which slit each individual photon is passing through, the interference pattern disappears. Does this mean that the very act of observation affects reality? Or does it mean that photons don't actually exist until they're observed? It's a weird one. Check down below for the answer. 2. Quantum tunneling. Another quantum conundrum. Imagine you're trying to get over a wall, but no matter how much you run, you just can't get over it. No matter how high you jump, you always come back down. You might think that makes sense because that's how the world works, right? Things have mass and gravity, and there's such a thing as an insurmountable barrier. But in the quantum world, things are different. A particle can tunnel through a barrier, even if it doesn't have enough energy to overcome that barrier. So it's like you're able to jump higher than you thought was physically possible. How is this possible? See the answer below. 3. Schrödinger's cat. Okay, we have to talk about Schrödinger's cat, right? This is another famous thought experiment. The scenario goes like this. A cat is placed in a box with a device that has a 50% chance of releasing a deadly toxin. The box is then sealed and left to sit. According to quantum mechanics, the cat is in a superposition of states, meaning it's both dead and alive at the same time. But as soon as you open the box and observe the cat, the superposition collapses, and the cat is either dead or alive. What does this say about the nature of reality and the role of observation? Well, see the answer below. 4. Zeno's paradox. Zeno's paradoxes were a series of philosophical problems raised by Greek philosopher Zeno of Elea around 500 BC. They challenged the idea of motion and infinity. One of the most famous is the dichotomy paradox. Imagine you want to walk across a room. To do that, you first have to walk half the length of the room. But to get to that point, you have to walk half the distance again and again and again. Zeno argued that since you can always divide the remaining distance into halves, you could never actually finish walking across the room. Does this mean that motion is impossible, or that infinity is somehow involved? Check below for the answer. 5. The ship of Theseus. This is a thought experiment in philosophy that raises questions about identity and change. The scenario goes like this. You have a ship named the Ship of Theseus that's made up of wooden planks. Over time, the planks are replaced one by one until every single plank has been replaced. At what point does it stop being the Ship of Theseus? Is it still the same ship even though all the parts have been changed? Or does it need to have some of the original parts to be considered the same ship? This is a tricky one. See the answer below. 6. Bootstrap paradox. This is a fun one. Imagine you travel back in time and meet your younger self. You give your younger self a book that changes your life, and then you travel back to your own time. Upon returning, you find that the book has disappeared from your own timeline. But now there are several copies of the book in existence. How can this be possible? Does this mean that time travel is possible, or that there are some things in the universe that are just beyond our understanding? Check below for the answer. 7. The unexpected hanging. Here's a brain teaser. But just as you're about to do this, the rope snaps and you fall to the ground unharmed. Now the question is, how did you die? See the answer below. Did you get them all right? Let us know your score in the comments section. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an awesome video.